Mentioned Leanna Garcia in the circle today. The birthday girl, how cool is that to get a start on your birthday against the number 7th ranked Wildcats?
That's just like the cherry on top, man. That is amazing. And I know that Titans are going to have her back tonight.
And Gina Oaks Garcia sends out the same exact defensive lineup, the same offensive lineup out here for the second game. And once again, Lexia Lopez behind the plate. And let's do it where the Arizona Wildcats will lead off with Kaya Altmaier, leadoff hitter, who will watch strike one. As you take a look at the last start for Leanna Garcia, not a great one versus Notre Dame. Jim, just 4 innings, gave up 5 runs.
Yeah, unfortunate defense and walks. We talk about it all the time. Keep extra base runners off, and that time against Notre Dame, two big swings was the difference in that game, and that's how fine the line is between the teams.
And Garcia, odd splits this year, better versus right-handed hitters than she is versus left-handed hitters. In Arizona, they have a lot of lefties in their lineup, especially at the top, leading off with Kaya Altmaier, the left fielder. The great Reagan Shockey is hitting second, and she is in center field. Sydney Stewart second, Devin Netz, the cleanup hitter, Miranda Stoddard hitting 5th. Paige Dimler will hit 6th. And then the lone freshman in this lineup, Jenna Sniffen, will hit 7th. Taylor Beal will hit 8th, and then Logan Cole will do the catching duties. I know we talked about it off air, Jim, but there's no hole in this lineup.
Not at all. It's going to be a great competition tonight, and that's really what the Titans need to come out with. Just be aggressive, get to the point, match the intensity of what Arizona's throwing out there.
Mentioned these two teams played each other at the Bear Down Fiesta in Tucson. These are also the first road games of the year for Arizona, who have hosted 4 straight tournaments. As they're coming to Anderson Family Field, as Leanna Garcia will end up walking Altmaier on the 3-2.
Yeah, it's a tough way to start. Again, we just talked about we don't want to get to that point where it's a free base situation, and now you're facing one of the all-time hitters this year for the Arizona Wildcats, and Reagan Shockey.
Yeah, there's just so much speed at the top, so much power in the middle, and then you have the on-base girls at the bottom of the lineup. It's just really not easy, and then you have to somehow face Reagan Shockey, who's hitting 477.
Yeah, having that much power at the same time having that much speed, it's going to really make you focus on defense every single pitch.
Reagan Shockey, preseason Big 12 team this year. She watches a strike from Leanna Garcia. Came into today being 4th in the entire conference in average in number 1 in hits, and she already has 31 hits on the year. And she's just a sophomore, by the way.
Great pitch there by Garcia, gets the first out.
You want to guess, Jim, how many times Reagan Shockey has struck out this year?
I'm going to say it's probably under 5.
Yeah, that was her 5th strikeout of the season.
There we go.
Wow, so you thought the unthinkable of Leanna Garcia made quick work of Altmaier, but here comes Sydney Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart is nothing to play around with either. You're looking at the a lot of averages over 400. Stewart's hitting 404 right now. That was coming into today before the game earlier today.
Yeah, this Arizona lineup is putting up some laughable numbers right now. They came into today hitting 387 as a team. They've already hit 30 homers this year, and they just poured it on Weber State earlier today. That game just ended about 30 to 45 minutes ago, but they won that one 13-3. But coincidentally, did not hit a home run in that game.
They pieced it together, I want to say.
Yeah.
Pieced together a 10-run win.
It was a lot of singles and odd stuff from Arizona, but that's what they can do as well. And similar with UCLA, though, this lineup is really picky with the pitches that they choose to swing on as well.
Yeah, they're very good, aggressive, but when they swing it, they swing it. Very good eye at the plate.
Garcia's pitch is called a strike. Leanna Garcia actually did pitch against Arizona in the Bear Down Fiesta on February 14th earlier on this year, and it was not a good one. 1 inning, 5 hits, and 6 runs. Just didn't have her A-plus stuff from the first get-go. As that ball's lined to Cosillos, did that hop in the corner, and it looked like it is foul. So the count will run full, back-to-back full counts for Leanna.
Yeah, that's one thing that when we talked to Coach Oaks Garcia earlier today is that going deep in counts, they want their pitchers to get ahead, throw strikes early, And when they don't, you can see the damage that it does, putting runners in scoring position, putting runners on base.
And that'll be the second walk given up by Leona Garcia. So the transfer out of Washington, Sydney Stewart, will be at first. And that'll bring in Devin Nets.
You know, Devin's not hitting quite as good as the other one. She's only hitting 340.
Mentioned same defensive lineup too. Kay Verhoff back in center.
But this one also, Devin also has 5 home runs on the season so far, along with 18 RBIs. So she's getting. It's not just the home runs that she's doing. She's making great contact, and there's something we cannot do, and the Titans cannot do, and that is hit a batter.
This game could possibly get out of hand early for the Titans. Just 1 out into the top of the first.
And here comes Miranda Stoddard.
And a quick meeting from George Araujo, who hops out of his dugout on the Fullerton side, and the assistant coach will try and calm down Leona Garcia.
You know, the free bases have just been killing the Titans this year so far, especially in games against ranked teams. And I think that's a big stat when you look at the ranked team. The ranked teams have been playing UCLA. They played LSU. Again, here playing Arizona. You cannot give great teams extra opportunities to score.
There should be a long Friday night. We're almost 9 p.m. here on the West Coast as we welcome you back to Titan Sports Network, ESPN Plus, as Miranda Stoddard will be in the circle for Arizona. Same lineup for the Golden Eagles today as we featured in this first game versus UCLA, where they had 7 hits, but they just only mustered 2 runs to show for her. And there's a good look at Miranda Stoddard, who can do it both. She's 7-1 this year with a 2.73 ERA.
Yeah, Stoddard, like we said earlier, to being able to hit, swing the bat and being able to come into the circle, just a phenomenal athlete. Graduate student out of Anaheim, California, Orange Lutheran High School by way of Kentucky.
A former Wildcat comes over to play
for
with the other Wildcats. Traveling a bit north, and maybe not a good sign here, because Crystalline Romulo is flexing the left leg. Something's not looking comfortable for Romulo, and that is not a good sign. That is someone they cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, that's a, I don't know if that's a non-contact. I don't know, maybe she stepped on a ball. That's a rare thing that you see before there's no action being made.
Oh no. Crystalline Romulo is heavily favoring that left leg, and right before we have a week till Big West play starts, and that's not a good sign, Jim.
It's a right call. I agree. It's not a great sign, but I think that's a right call by coach to, get her out of the game now before you can possibly injure it even more. Give her, find out what's really going on with it, and you have a week before you're out at the Big West. You're out at San Diego.
Robert Pentikoff is the home plate umpire. He just announced the pinch hitter for the Titans. Adam McEloney is at first base. Jim Bertuzzi is at third. But, wow, that's not how anybody really expected this game to start. Instantly, Gina Oaks-Garcia turned to her bench. Something clearly not right with Romulo.
Yeah, Brianna Ferdman is going to come in here and take the spot of Romulo.
We'll see what Brianna Ferdman could do versus Miranda Stoddard, as it will be Ferdman, Perez, and Lozano. Feels weird to say with no Romulo, but if there is any updates, we'll try and get them to you. But something definitely wrong with that left leg of Kristen Romulo. Was not involved in any plays in the defensive top half of the first.
No, it looked like maybe something had happened coming out of the dugout. Maybe just stepped wrong. But anyway, next person up. Here we go.
It's the freshman Ferdman, who is just in her 6th start of the season. No homers with an RBI, but is hitting .357. And talk about being thrusted into
oh, hey,
to
by
a
the
pretty
way,
good game.
You're going to go out and face one of the better pitchers in the country.
Ferdman will ground one to second. Underhanded flip from Cole. And Ferdman is out, but she's going to be at least playing the rest of this one.
That's going to lead up to Sarah Perez, a standout shortstop, number 2. hitting .316 on the season.
Perez hits in 3 of her last 4 games. 2 for 9 in this Judy Garman Classic. But mentioned was on base 3 times versus UCLA.
Yeah, 6-2 loss for the Titans against UCLA, but in reality, they had that game could have swung both ways. That game could have been Worley, kind of couple swings here and there.
Perez, a soft chopper to shortstop. Quick hands by Taylor Beal. I mentioned UCLA scored 5 in the second versus the Titans, and once you thought the floodgates would open, it was actually the Titans who ended up outscoring the Bruins from there on out, as they outscored them 2-1.
Yeah, they closed out really well. Eva Hurtado came in and just really did a great job in the circle for the Titans.
Started out, they struggled with the bats to begin things, as it'll be Natalie Lozano now in the number 3 hole.
And here we go with, you have 2 freshmen in the top 3 hitters, Ferdman and Lozano. And Lozano's no stranger to making great contact. Had a great double in the first game.
Also have a part of 3 freshmen in the lineup with Sarah Cosillas as well at 3rd. So Natalie Lozano drove home 1 versus UCLA, average at .348 now with 17 RBIs on the year. But this Arizona pitching staff is number 4 in the Big 12 this year. Lozano gets jammed and flies one to left field, and that will be this year and take down the number 7th ranked team in the country, as it'll be another lefty here, Paige Dimler.
Paige Dimler comes in hitting a cool .490. That's amazing. With only 1 home run, so a very good contact hitter.
11 RBIs on the year. Doesn't walk either. She hasn't drawn a walk this year. And doesn't strike out either. Only 3 strikeouts, but Arizona doesn't strike out as a team. They only have 51 collectively through now 18 games. And Dimler will hit a line drive back up the middle, and Arizona will have the leadoff runner on.
Here comes the outstanding, sensational freshman at the plate, Jenna Sniffen, hitting .333, but she has 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. A little pop behind her.
Arizona projected to finish 3rd in the Big 12 this year, right behind Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Oklahoma State currently has former Titan great Megan Delgadillo on the roster for her graduate season. So good to see Megan being a lady cowgirl. Garcia wasn't a beautiful first inning. As a back pick by Lopez at first, a close play, but got to be careful over there is Dimler.
Yeah, this is if we've seen a pattern come out with the Titans so far. It seems to be that second inning once a team, a ranked team comes out and gets to see Garcia and then comes back in and makes some adjustments.
Arizona also doesn't steal many bases, as they have 19 as a team, but Reagan Shockey has 10 of those.
When you have 30 home runs, I don't think you need to.
I don't think it's in their back of their mind.
Yeah.
They hit for a lot of extra bases, 26 doubles as a team, 6 triples, mentioned to the 30 homers. They also have 186 hits. Wow, already. Reagan Shockey with 31 of them. This is a very good Arizona lineup. Leona Garcia, a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the count will go full.
You know, that's one thing that I've seen all weekend, and I think it's great. You're playing top quality teams in the country. It's not just playing in your conference. It's going to pay off dividends down the stretch when you have to bring that mentality with every single pitch, every single at bat.
Drop ball is right under the knees, and that'll be ball 4. They'll check her swing. Did not go around, and the first 2 are on for the Wildcats.
And we were here before. Taylor Beal stepping in, batting only 200. Team role player right here, not necessarily looking to smash the ball, but probably move the runners over here with a nice sacrifice bunt.
Squares around, dude does it again, drops one right up the third base line, and Casillas isn't even gonna have a play. And now they're loaded of Wildcats.
And this is the danger part because you have 9-1-2 coming up with no outs. A great bunt. I could see Casillas, she's hoping that there'd be a little spin, maybe let it roll foul, but after about 2 bounces, she could see it was not gonna get foul.
Yeah, had no play. So that'll load him up for Logan Cole, the junior. He'll ground one to Sarah Perez, past the diving glove of Perez, and that will easily score 2. And once again, the Titans will have to come from behind and trail 2-0.
Yeah, now you're getting into some danger territory here. You got Altmaier, Shockey, Stewart.
How quickly this second inning has just happened, too. Already 3 hits and a walk, 2 runs scored.
Yeah, teams are making that adjustment, I believe, after that first inning. A lot of the teams are making those adjustments against the pitcher, coming out maybe swinging earlier in the count, not going deep so much.
Now in steps Shockey, who hits a line drive past Perez once again, and that will roll to the wall. Taylor Beal will score. Logan Cole will also score as Shockey will move to third on the errant throw. And it's a 2-run double for Reagan Shockey. RBIs number 14, number 30, or 7 and 8.
That's for Altmaier.
No, Altmaier.
I know, just what you were saying, though. The inning was so fast. It's like, okay, it's 4-0. What just happened?
So now they have to face Reagan Shockey.
Yeah, after shutting Arizona down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning and the top of the second inning, it's been 4 batters, 4 hits, 4 runs.
Same script as the UCLA game was. As a foul ball, saying it hit her in the box. Reagan Shockey was about halfway to the right field fence by the time it was ruled foul. So just like that, a 4-0 deficit for the Titans.
Boy, the Titans have really been living right there, just below the knee, and haven't been getting the calls, which they're balls, I understand that, but even the batters not swinging at them is great eye.
3 straight hits for Arizona as Shockey watches one in, 2 balls and a strike. Reagan Shockey as a freshman, a 4-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. D1 softball freshman All-American as she floats one into left field, and Brianna Ferdman can't make the catch. And another Titans error leads to another Titans run as Shockey will be safe at second base.
Wow.
And looks like Ferdman got handcuffed out there, and that's how much you miss Crystalline Romulo already.
Yeah. Now, it's got to be a tough spot, too, for Ferdman, but it's always been next person up. If someone goes down, someone's got to be ready.
So when he's 7 on Ferdman, Shockey over to second, and it's couldn't ask for a more ugly inning than what this second inning has been.
Yeah, just completely opposite end of it compared to what happened in the first inning. It was a quick one. You know, they had runners on, but they were able to get the 3 outs before any runs came across.
Now this is Sydney Stewart, who just looks like she's going to crush the ball. Well, she's 6'1". Don't see a lot of 6-foot players, let alone 6'1" players. That's what she's listed as well.
She looks a lot bigger than 6'1" back there.
Yeah, Robert Pentecoff, the home plate umpire, looks about eye level with her. One of the 3 transfers brought in as Stewart will hit one into left. Ferdman will be unable to make the catch. Reagan Shockey will, as the throw comes home, and that will allow the runner Stewart to move to second. Shockey stopped at third.
Yeah, definitely a rough inning for Garcia. And, you know, the best thing about it is just try to get strikes, try to get there. They are so tough at the plate. And you can see how they're not looking to bomb the ball. They're just looking to place it very well.
And remember, Arizona did tee off of Leanna Garcia in her first start. Can't imagine it'd be any easier the second time facing Arizona. And it looks like Gina Oaks Garcia might be making a move here. An early move it is. It looks like maybe Eva Hurtado.
It is going to be Hurtado. Oh, no, it's going to be McCluskey. I can't see if it's 31. Oh, right the ship a little bit. Get the first out. It's got to play like it's 0-0 game right now. She's got to go attack the hitters.
And we'll have to face Devin Netz and Miranda Stoddard. It will be second and third for the Wildcats, who just put up 13 versus Weber State. And that offense continues to click. Offense this year in the Big 12 for Arizona, #1 in average, #1 in runs and home runs, triples, and walks. As Netz, a ground ball, diving stab by Perez. The throw on to first. And I believe she is safe, as she is, as it will be an infield single and an RBI, and now 6-0.
Great stop by, by Perez. Just one of those situations because the bases are so short. Just not enough time to get up, recover, and make a play. Get the out at first, but made a great play on the ball.
Great stretch by RC too, one of the bigger players. Some long strides coming off of Netz. Now here's Miranda Stoddard, who's the pitcher today, also has a 6-run lead to her back. Stoddard flew out to begin, or to end the first, I should say. Arizona did play a non-conference game versus LMU before this tournament started. They won 7-6 in that one. They scored 2 runs in the top half of the 7th to avoid an upset versus LMU. You mentioned that they have hosted 3 straight tournaments in Arizona. So first trip to California.
Yeah, McCluskey can get an out here. It'd be great. Nice job by Stoddard to keep fouling it off, fighting it off. Still ahead for McCluskey, 1-2.
McCluskey gave up 5 runs, only 2 of them earned versus UCLA, as the count will run full.
Lopez is just doing such a great job behind the plate. Only in the top of the second, but she's already made a couple of plays, made an out at home on a hustle play.
3-2 from McCluskey, and that will be in the dirt. Actually, that count was a 2-2 count, I should say. So now we go full. Stoddard played her first 3 seasons at Kentucky. Didn't bat a lot at Kentucky. And didn't even receive an at-bat last year with Arizona. And now they have really unlocked the true Miranda Stoddard.
All people need is a chance, and they give it to her. She takes a hold of it and decides, hey, look, this is fun.
Said, I'm not good enough with just pitching. I want to hit too, and boy, has she ever. As that'll be ball 4 and kick to the backstop, and they'll be loaded.
Yeah, Stoddard was hitting a cool 400 as well. So Dimmler steps up hitting 500. I feel like I'm reading off a video game.
And they've officially hit around, and there's nobody out. That is not a mistake on the Titan Sports Network behalf. There is nobody out in the second inning. They have scored 6. We'll have bigger fish to fry tomorrow as the Utah Utes will come into now. That'll be the nightcap tomorrow, 7 p.m. scheduled start time. And then 11:45 a.m. on Sunday, they'll take on number 20 San Diego State, who dropped both their games today. They lost to Weber State as well as Notre Dame.
I believe both of those went to extras, too. I know the first one did.
Interesting seeing what San Diego State team we're going to get on Sunday. Obviously, the Titans beat them earlier on this year, a 7-3 win. This is Paige Dimler, who began this inning with a single.
Very disciplined hitters. I know that the Titans haven't really been throwing a lot of strikes. They've put a lot of extra base runners on, but if you really look at the idea that they're not swinging beyond their means, even chopping balls like that, great play by McClinton. Another run comes home, but you got to get that out.
Yeah, Titans do get one on a 4-3 ground out, but the RBI to Dimler. That will move Netz to third and Stoddard to second. And it'll be Sniffen now.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, they just know their zone. They know where the plate's at. And no matter what is going on, they understand that no matter where the ball is pitched, we've got a great read on that. If we're going to, we take our cuts and we decide that it's going to be a full swing, not just a, check swing.
Jenna Sniffen homered versus Cal State Fullerton earlier this year. Hits in 9 of her last 12 games. Really started struggling to begin the year. She was just 1 for 10 at the plate, but it sure turned it around. Freshman, the number 16th player in the 2024 class, and gets a good chunk of this one. Flies it into left center field, and that will one hop the wall. As Devin Netz scores, Miranda Stoddard has scored, and it's now a 9-run inning for Arizona.
Yeah, we talk about how things just kind of unravel. Somebody's got to put their finger in the hole and stop the bleeding.
Arizona did not have a hit in the first inning, and they now have 7 here in the second. This team is pretty dang good, Jim.
Yeah, we talk about some of these ranked teams about hosting at the end. I know there's a long way to go, but looking at the regionals, I expect this team to be one of those top teams hosting a regional out in Tucson come mid-May.
They have 7 run rule victories this year, the Wildcats do, as Titans will get a second out. And they've played some really, really good competition this season as well. They've run ruled the number 11th ranked Alabama. They've beaten Stanford twice, including one of those being a run rule. They lost to the number 1 ranked Texas.
But even
extras.
that game was I was gonna say it was an extra. So they're competitive with everybody.
And when they score big. I think 4 runs is the least that they scored on offense. It is actually 2.
Wow.
Have to take a page out of Washington's book.
Yeah.
Although they lost to Washington 6-2, they ended up coming back and shutting them out in the first tournament on the year. This fly ball will thankfully put an end to the second, but 14 hitters come to the plate, 9 runs on 7 hits for a pitcher that does not walk hitters as Ava Arce will pick up the first hit. And Titans clawed back versus UCLA. Well, they'll have to do a little bit more of that.
Yes, but it has to start somewhere. It's a great at-bat by Arce, which is now going to bring up Alexia Lopez.
Stoddard started that game versus LMU, that non-conference game before the tournament, went through just 3 2/3, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. So definitely able to get to her. If there is one of their starters, she's one of them. Alexia Lopez watches a strike. A team ERA of 2.57 for the Wildcats, which is good enough for number 4 in the Big 12. They've also given up the second most home runs as a pitching staff, but hitters only hitting 216 off of them. That is best in the Big 12.
Yeah, consistently in depth. If you look at their, their pitching staff, you're looking at probably close to 6, 7 pitchers that can come in at any time. So if they get in trouble, and they don't often get in trouble, but when they do, they can have another person ready to go.
Yeah, unlike the Titans, they have used a lot of pitchers this year. 8 to be in total.
Wow.
Titans have used 3. Even Ryan Maddox, who just started versus Weber State, she almost just couldn't get that last out versus Weber State. She went 5 2/3, but did end up picking up the win.
Yeah, right now Lopez having a great at bat, really seeing the ball well. Has to stay locked in here though, complete the at bat.
Another 0-2 from Stoddard, a ground ball to shortstop. They'll have one play, and they get the out at first. Taylor Beal. That'll bring in Colby McClinton. McClinton, 391 on the season. And she'll ground one fair down the first base line, and in scoring is Ava Arce. And Colby McClinton, the captain, will get one back. It's now a 9-1 Arizona lead.
That's how it has to start, one hit at a time. There's no 8-run hit out there, so it takes one at a time.
That ball actually took a weird hop right over the glove of Devin Netz at first.
We've seen some weird, funky hops on this dirt out here this weekend. Definite some weird spins.
Sarah Cosillos. What does she have in store? A grounder to second, the backhanded flip to 1. The relay is in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and just like that, Arizona is out of it. But Colby McClinton gets one back and an RBI knock. Titans trail by 8.
Fans, make sure to purchase your tickets in advance for the remainder of the Judy Garland Classic at Fullerton Titans Tickets.
That's what it's been from Leanna Garcia this year, though. Her good starts are really good, and her bad starts are really ugly.
Yeah, and I noticed that she does a great job of closing when she's coming in. That mentality of locking it down. Just seems to have one bad inning with against these ranked teams, and even in some of her non-ranked teams, that they just seem to figure it out on her.
Altmaier average over 460, faces a 1-2 pitch from McCleskey, which will be low. Kaya Altmaier second in the Big 12 in RBIs on the year. She's driven in 22. That's second most on the team, right behind Sydney Stewart, who leads the Big 12. Altmaier made 38 starts last year, 333 average with 5 homers, 27 RBIs, won a Pac-12 Player of the Week award. Has reached base safely in every game but one this year. That ball took a hop and right on the chops of McClinton. Came up and got her.
Wow.
Take a look at this nasty hop right there. Just came up and bit her right in the chin.
Yeah, definitely something. She was squared it up, did everything she was right. Just softball gods didn't believe that she was going to make the play.
And they ruled that one an error.
Ooh, that's a rough error.
I understand it, but as a player, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I kind of respect it. That shows that obviously they expect her to make those plays, so I can understand that. She had squared it up had a foot on each side of the ball, running to the bag.
Now it's Reagan Shockey, who had 80 hits last year. That was top 10 in all of Division I, and that was 5th all-time in Arizona history. As they are led by their head coach, Caitlin Lowe, in just her 4th season, but was a great Wildcat herself. A 4-time All-American as a player, just one of 6 Wildcats to ever do that. Wow. 2 former players going at it today, except on the coaching end of things, and there's no way you're doubling off Shockey.
It's a great job by Casillas to be heads up, know what you're going to do with the ball before you get it. Ball gets to her quickly, knows she's going to second base right there with McClinton.
Bring in Sydney Stewart, and Shockey's been only thrown out once on the base paths this year. Would love to see that little battle between Alexia Lopez and Reagan Shockey.
Although up 8 runs, I don't know if they'll run. They're not usually a running team, but I agree. I would love to see the challenge. We're talking about Arizona getting into the Big 12. They start next Friday as well, conference play against UCF. They're going to host UCF, and they're going to host Utah the following week. So they're going to get back to home and be able to get a good jump on their Big 12 schedule.
At least they get to host before.
Yeah.
They get to just go back to Arizona.
And then they'll be at Grand Canyon. Then, well, Grand Canyon's not conference, but then they'll be at Arizona State and at BYU. So they have 6 games at home and then 6 games on the road. So should be a good test for them.
They went 37-18-1 last year. A hockey little score bug.
And the first week in April will be the big matchup. They have Oklahoma State coming to Tucson, so that would be a great matchup.
That's going to be a fun little watch. 2 of the top 3 teams that were projected to finish at the top. 13-11 in Pac-12 play last year. They struggled on the road. They were under 500 away from Tucson last year as the strikeout, the throwdown from Lopez. Oh, Jim, I wanted that one.
I wanted to see. Oh. I think if that throw was a little bit more on the bag, probably got her.
From the knees, too.
Yeah.
Good slide, though, from Shockey.
Yeah, did a great job around getting around it.
That name, though, just Reagan Shockey. That's a name that you could see in the rafters one day, or Shockey. 3-2 pitch coming to Sydney Stewart. Chase and missed. Trisha McClaskey picks up her first strikeout, second out of the 3rd, and gets a big bat, too, with Sydney Stewart.
Yeah, that's a big motivator right there for McCluskey. Hopefully that can carry on for the rest of the night. It all starts with one little thing.
In comes Devin Netz. You mentioned that they play Oklahoma State at home earlier, or about in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's who they lost to in Supers last year, was Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's going to be a great battle. And just to see the, when it gets down to that in conference play, it just adds something, especially even in the Big West out here with, Long Beach State and Fullerton. When that matchup happens, that's going to be pretty crazy.
That ball was hit so hard past Cosillos. That ball was fair.
I thought it was foul.
Just a rocket of a ground ball that just hopped past Cosillos. Nothing she could do about it as Arizona will tack on another. Shockey comes across the score, and it's now 10-1. Wow. She was playing back at third base, too, and that ball still got by her. Second hit on the day for Devin Netz.
Here's Stoddard.
They scored 10-plus runs twice in the Hillenbrand Invitational. That was their last tournament that they hosted in Tucson. Season high of runs is 15. That was versus South Alabama and the Bear Down Fiesta.
Yeah, they've come out and they jump on people. You can see the quickness of how fast, you can have like we saw in that second inning. We were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, and before we knew it, it was walk, base hit, walk, and then a couple hard singles up the middle past the shortstop.
When it comes in bunches. This is the 9th game on the year for Arizona that they have scored 10 or more runs. Just feasting off non-conference opponents. Stoddard will chop one to Cosillos at third, a couple shuffles, and that will end the threat in the third. One more comes across on a Devin Netz RBI single. Now a 10-1 Arizona lead.
How would I describe Titan softball? Whoa.
Via Guevara will grab a bat and hit. 8, 9, and 1 coming up in the third.
And Titans just got to keep swinging the bats. This is no time to sit and look for walks. You've got to be able to stay aggressive at the plate. It's a fine line between staying aggressive and making sure you get your pitch, but they've got to go up there looking for that first ball strike.
We were just talking about it, but Titans' effort coming out in game 2 usually have typically not been good throughout these tournaments that we've seen this year, even just scoreboard watching as well. But what are your thoughts about how the Titans have came out in the second games?
Yeah, I think that they've come out a little flat. I think it's, for whatever reason. I mean, there could be a multitude of reasons, but I believe they put so much effort sometimes into the first game, and I'm not saying the effort's not there in the second game, but they're just not being themselves in the games that they've played in the nightcap, so to speak, especially the last 2 nights. Last night against Notre Dame, and again seeing it here with Arizona.
You think that comes with being a young team, as young as they are? Obviously, Gina Oaks-Garcia only brought in 1 transfer on the year. That's Lulu Sanchez, who's dealing with a little bit of a shoulder injury right now, but does that come with being a young team?
I believe it does. Yeah, there's a lot of growth that has to happen, but you rely on the elder statesmen, so to speak. Maybe not always the seniors, because there's not a lot of seniors, but just the people that have the experience, that have been there, and they're going to be okay down the stretch. I think it's a growing pains. You're playing so many high quality ranked teams early that they just can't lose their focus or lose their intensity.
Interesting, you did mention that as well. There's not besides Sofia Guevara and Crystalline Romulo, there's not a lot of seniors. Those actually are the only 2 seniors, and Abigail Salazar on the roster.
Wow.
So only 3 seniors. And Guevara grounds out to second.
Well, if Kate Verhoff is going to get off the schneid, this is the time to do it.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Gina Oaks-Garcia is going to keep putting her into the lineup until she figures it out.
Well, I think that's hugely important to keep doing it. She's not hurting you in the field. She's doing phenomenal in the field. She controls that outfield, and especially in that center field position. And it'll click for her at the plate. It's going to take some time, but it'll click for her. And when it does, it'll be kind of crazy.
Hopefully it clicks right before Big West play.
Yeah.
They're going to need her. Is the captain on the defense. Has that gold on her glove. And chasing pitches out of the strike zone has been a problem for her in this little slump that she's in.
Yeah, she gets caught on that rise ball, I think, a little bit too much. Or the one down the middle.
Yeah. Been that kind of year so far for Kate, unfortunately. But just a sophomore. As we go back to the top where it's Brianna Ferdman. I was just about to say Crystalline Romulo.
Yeah.
And now that brought me back to, if you're just tuning in, Crystalline Romulo exited at the bottom of the first. Still really not an idea what happened, but she was really favoring that left leg. Was not involved in any defensive plays at all, but you could already tell they missed her on defense and they've missed her on offense.
Yeah, definitely. We're hoping the best for her. It looked like a non-contact type injury. She didn't even get to the plate. It was just coming out of the dugout, I believe, and they stopped it and substituted Brianna Ferdman in.
only do you lose Romulo, but you lose one of your leaders as well, a senior. Again, just one of the 3 seniors on the roster. And now it's up to the freshman Ferdman. Some good at-bats for her, though, to come. Good experience for Ferdman.
I think it's great. I think anytime you can get a young player in the lineup to see quality pitching, it can only help them.
Ferdman, big cut and a miss. Hit 500 her senior year of high school at Agora High School in Simi Valley, California. As slaps one up the middle. It's gloved off by Stoddard, and she will flip it over to Devin Netz. 4 straight retired. 3 up, 3 down in the third. 10-1 Wildcats. Fielder. So number 33 back and right for Natalie Lozano, who gets a quick exit after just 1 at bat. Might still see Lozano hit, but don't know. Either way, 6, 7, and 8 for Arizona. Alexia Lopez needed a new pitch comm device. Actually, Natalie Lozano is the new catcher, it looks like. She is indeed. Lozano moves from right field to behind home, and Maggie Polovich goes into right field. And not exactly how you want to get Alexia Lopez off the field, but it's probably the only way it's really going to happen, as Paige Dimler will reach first. Looks like an infield single for Dimler.
Yeah, this is one of those innings also, this could turn ugly fast if you don't get locked in early with this offense.
Jenna Sniffen, the freshman out of Kapolei, Hawaii, played at Mary Knoll High School. Faces an 0-1 for McCleskey. Sniffen, the 2022 All-Hawaii Player of the Year, 3-time First State. Also was the 2021 Hawaii Gatorade Player of the Year.
That's impressive.
Always when you see the word Gatorade Player of the Year, that's the one you need to know.
Yeah.
Because it's only one of them.
Yes, that is true.
It's only one in the state. In Arizona, I bet somebody on this roster, about everybody on this roster has been named at least Gatorade Player of the Year at least once in high school.
It feels like the accolades, you can just throw a dart at the dartboard and figure out who it is that did this and that. And
2-2 was low and away from McCleskey. Well, Arizona's doing what they did to Cal State Fullerton in the first matchup that these two teams played. It was this exact score right here. This is how the game ended, as Arizona run-ruled them in 5.
Yeah, we've got to get a little more runs, but we've got to control the bats as well for the other team. And having walks, again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see after this game concludes how many walks this pitching staff has had throughout this tournament. First and second, no one out for Taylor Beal.
We've had 5 walks and 1 hit batter already tonight. So that's that's 5 extra base runners. And Taylor Beal stepping in.
A junior out of Folsom, California, played at Vista Del Lago High School. Pretty much bound to become a Wildcat. Her aunt played under head coach Caitlin Lowe. As they will go to third and get the lead runner, I guess.
I thought she caught it, but I guess she was looking for the double play with Perez at short, but Perez was too far away from the bag to get there. But heads up play to get the force out at third.
Not your typical 4 or 5 fielder's choice. They'll get the lead runner Dimmler. Sniffin will to second, Beal to first.
Logan Cole stepping up, single, also a fly ball to center field.
Cole playing for her hometown team. Grew up in Marana, Arizona. Played at South Point Catholic High School. As Cole will foul one off.
They definitely go in bunches. McCleskey seems to have control right now with this bottom part of the lineup. But again, this is where that flipped the lineup, and then it just, the floodgates opened in the second inning.
Scored 9 runs on 7 hits in that second inning. Titans have 1 out here as Logan Cole takes the second ball low. Suffered a season-ending right shoulder injury last year that required surgery just 5 games into her year. Has recovered pretty well. Continues to be a staple at the bottom of that Arizona lineup. Also, Logan Cole is an NFL flag football champion as well.
Wow, that's impressive.
First player I've ever seen be an NFL flag football champion.
That is pretty impressive. Tells me very athletic.
Oh, yeah. And she'll line one to Sarah Perez, knocks it down, goes to third, and gets the force out.
Well, now you get from a 4-5, now we get a 6-5.
So now Sniffin will go to second and Beal to first.
And
Excuse me, Cole.
Kaya Altmeyer stepping to the plate for her 4th at-bat. Been on base all 3 times, a walk, a single, and an error. Let's try something new. Let's get an out. Let's make her get an out.
Let's get up a 0. Everybody's reached base today for Arizona. We're just 3 2/3 in. They'll play UCLA tomorrow. That should be a good one.
That will be an amazing game. I think of all the teams that we've seen, I think we mentioned this earlier, that this is probably the most well put together lineup, both pitching wise and offensive wise, that the Titans have faced so far.
As Altmeyer grounds it off the heel of the glove of McClinton into right field. She has had a rough day at second base, and that brings home another Wildcat, now a 10-run lead. Second error on the day for Colby McClinton. Again, that ball.
They gave her a hit on that.
Huh.
Interesting.
That one's a hit, but the one previous in error.
Yes.
Almost the same exact
it's almost
play.
Yeah. Maybe just the speed of how hard it was hit. But as a coach, I'm always about it. Should always be an error because you should make every play that touches you.
I
but
can attest to that.
I get it. The ball was hit pretty hard. First and third, still 2 outs. Now you have Reagan Shockley.
That's just kind of luck it's been for the Titans today.
That is such great bat control.
That is Reagan Shockey doing some Reagan Shockey things. Just chops it right over the head of Cosillos, and it's right in the left field now, a 12-1 Arizona lead. Season high for runs is 15, and we still have a long way to go in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Before you can even consider and mutter the words run rule.
Yeah, we still got a few things to take care of here.
So Shockey will be at first, Altmeyer to second. And now it's the 7th Wildcat, 6'1" Sydney Stewart. Off the end of the bat, but it will foul. Lozano, a catcher, now in her natural position. Expected to be that backup catcher, but playing right field because of her bat.
It's a great job of a coach to be able to get Lopez out of the game and be able to get Lozano back there. I wouldn't be shocked to see Lozano catch a game or again split time over the next couple games here to finish out the Judy Garvin Classic.
As McCleskey, a little bit of a bobble. Does she have time just by a step to retire Stewart? As two more come across to score for Arizona. Hit off the heel of her glove, a little bit of a bobble, but no problem for Stewart. Just working on some basics and some mechanics.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I think the fire in her, she wants to get back out there as soon as possible. That's not something you want to sit back and say, well, and just accept it.
Miranda Stoddard back in the circle. Time for the Titans, though. 2-3-4 coming up. Sarah Perez, 0 for 1 today. So we enter the bottom half of the fourth here in Fullerton. Perez, a chopper to shortstop, ranging to her left, and the throw by Taylor Beal will retire Perez.
Just solid up the middle. Beal, you look at their positioning and so on, the batter that comes out and does a little slap and chop. They're moving with the pitch, and it's like watching a concert out there.
Yeah.
They're just so in sync with each other.
Ava came into this game with a .975 fielding percentage, second best in the Big 12. Sure been on display as it'll be Natalie Lozano 0 for 1. Arizona fans happy today as they just might have saw their baseball team take down the number 1 ranked Texas A&M 3-2.
Arizona's sneaky. They've put, even when they were in the Pac-12, it would always be a competition. I mean, they were never out of a game.
And Arizona scored 2 in the top of the 9th to take down A&M. A&M team that ended up losing to Cal Poly earlier on this year. Shout out to the Big West. As Lozano fouls one towards the Titan dugout. Cal State Fullerton baseball was in action today. They lost 5-4 to Wichita State. They were just 3 outs away from picking up a victory, but the Shockers walked them off. The struggles continue on the year for Fullerton baseball.
Yeah, that's tough to come back from. But again, if you're a competitor, you just want to get to the next game. Let's go play again and shake it off and move on and don't dwell on it.
Lozano half swing to shortstop, a long throw, but a good one by Beal.
Beal is locked in right now. That's a phenomenal play. She already had her feet set, fielded through all in one motion. Great job.
Already the 4th assist today for Taylor Beal at shortstop.
It's going to bring up first base Ava Arce. Ava was able to get a single last time up.
Arce was driven home by McClinton in the 2nd. That's the only Fullerton run. Taylor Beal, by the way, the shortstop, only 1 error on the year in over 40 chances.
That's impressive.
They're a heck of a defensive team.
That's what I think that's kind of getting to the point of they're just the well put together team. They've got the athleticism, they've got the power, they've got, we haven't seen that, thank goodness. But they've also put together just stellar defense, and they're just consistent. They're just everything they do. Pete and repeat.
It's how the game went versus Weber State. Talked about the beginning. They didn't hit for power. They didn't have a home run in that game earlier today versus Weber State, but it just goes to show you that they could beat you in multiple ways. Whether it's hitting singles over the third baseman's head, that could be a way of doing it.
You know, we talk about this, and I understand there's more to it than what I'm about to say, but really the Titans are about 6 or 7 pitches in the last before this game. Oh, wow.
Well, that throw got away from
I don't
Cole.
know if that ball's getting wet on the grass, but we'll have to see how they ruled that. That's going to be an error.
No doubt an error. Taylor Cole leading in this Wildcats team in errors. She has now 5 of them.
And it's going to bring the late Pavlovich.
Maggie Pavlovich in the spot of Alexia Lopez. Pavlovich off Oakley's.
Yeah, that doesn't happen every day.
I don't even know if we're allowed to do that, but we're going to do it anyways.
Exactly.
Get your Oakleys while you can. 25% off Oakleys. They also have used glasses that they're selling out there. Bats, gloves, all the necessities. Also get your Judy Garmin Classic t-shirt as well.
That's the one to get.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Really clean shirt too. I'm hoping I don't have to pay for one and someone would just give me one.
Waiting for our kick down.
I figured we should get something.
We get the opportunity to bring a great game to the nation.
True. I'll get on ESPN Plus about that.
There we go. Devin Netz stepping in right now. Been on base all 3 times, hit by a pitch. 2 singles on the night so far.
They also had a barbecue truck out there. Did you see that
I
one?
did see that, yeah. I just quickly was walking down here and I was like, that's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that there before.
Smelled good.
Yeah.
I know it was very popular in between games, that barbecue truck. Of course, they do have your typical ballpark snacks like hot dogs and pretzels and yada, yada, yada. How was the hot dog?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was great. I mean, if my wife's listening, I didn't eat a hot dog. So.
Okay. Off the air then.
Off the air.
Make sure you come on out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow and Sunday. There's Devin Netz, big cut and a miss. Arizona will play Notre Dame at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. That will be their first game of 2, and then they will play the number 4 ranked UCLA. I'm definitely coming out earlier to watch that one.
That's going to be a great match tomorrow.
Battle between the number 7 Wildcats and number 4 Bruins.
There's another free pass, and that is just too many free bases.
Let's get a number on how many walks that's been today.
We're going to see a pinch runner there. It's going to be number 29. It's going to be Kiki Escobar. He's going to step in as a pinch runner at first base.
Titans pitching has already faced 31 hitters today in this game.
Wow.
They have allowed 6 walks and a hit by pitch.
I believe there's a pinch hitter as well. I think this is Emily Shep.
As Shep will sky one to left field, over into the gap. Running it down is the freshman Brianna Ferdman, who makes a great running snag.
That's a great job by Ferdman. Just great first step. Sometimes that's harder running sideways than it is coming in or going back.
Went to the old basket catch. As this will be a pinch hitter on for Arizona here. This will be Anissa Wild. Great name. As Wild will cut and miss at the first.
Nisa Wild. The freshman from Tucson, Arizona. Again, playing for the hometown there. Hometown school, Sal Point Catholic High School.
McCleskey misses away. A ball and a strike here. Wild with 21 career homers in high school. Last at bat was on the 16th versus this very Titans team. And she hits a high chopper to shortstop. Perez on the short hop.
Great job by Perez. Attack the ball. Come and get it. Don't let it get that second bounce, and that seems to be where we've been having that funky bounce on those second bounces. Great job attacking the ball.
Moves the runner over Devin Netz to second base for Sniffin. Jenna Sniffen been on base 3 times today. 1 for 1, a double, and a run scored. She's also drawn 2 walks. Quickly 0-2.
Wow. Paulovich almost got to that. That was 10 feet foul. She almost ran that down.
I thought I was getting into my words a bit too quickly. Sniffen, Beal, and Cole. McCluskey looking for a 0. Titans will need to put up a couple in order to not be run ruled versus Arizona.
They'll have to get at least 4 on the board.
This one will stay in play right side. Paulovich freshly into the game will make the catch, and 3 are gone. So, as Jim mentioned, Titans need 4 to keep this game alive. Go to the bottom.
Hasn't really reached base, but definitely putting some balls in play.
Now the 6th multi-hit game for Colby McClinton this year.
Looks like we have a. Do we have a pinch hitter? Pinch runner maybe? Nope.
Hey, there she is, Jim.
There we talked about it earlier. Maggie Sanchez.
And Madison Sanchez, the junior out of Brea, played at Canyon High School. Just got the news today that she was medically cleared to play. Tore her ACL last year. That was in the regional tournament. But boy, is this an awesome sign to see her.
This is great. This is phenomenal. Not just for the young gal, but for the team to have another body. If Romulo can't go down or can't go, this is somebody who could step into that position.
Has to feel a little odd for Maddie Sanchez.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's different. It's one thing taking some hacks in the cage, and putting pressure on that there, on your knee out there, but doing it in a game, that's a whole different level. But so happy to see her back out there.
Yeah, just had 3 at-bats last year. Only played 7 games last year before really tearing her ACL in the playoffs, and then 5 games as a defensive sub in 2023. Did not play in 2022. Gina Oaks Garcia was just really happy to get her back. Someone that's been grinding their way back, and unfortunately strikes out swinging here, but
that's okay. The at bat is irrelevant. She's back. That's that's not a big situation tonight.
Unfortunately, had to face Miranda Stoddard, but nonetheless, an at bat's an at bat.
Yeah.
Hope to see her as this season continues to progress. Again, Crystalline Romulo got hurt in the first inning. Still no update on her, so we still hope that Romulo is going to be okay as this season progresses, and tomorrow will be a key X factor to figure that out.
Yeah, we have another pinch hitter, I think. It's going to be Annika Sogsty.
Sogsty, a grounder to shortstop to second. A little bit of a bobble feed from Beal, but thankfully they get 1. And now the Titans will go down to their final out.
Gotta hold out hope. Keep it going.
Looks like the Titans are also going to the bench again. That is KK Christie.
KK Christie. It's been a while since we've called KK's name.
Someone that started in right field as this game, or as the season, I should say, started, but wasn't hitting all that well until the name Natalie Lozano popped up and had her starting spot stole from her.
Yeah, it's hard to keep someone who's swinging the bat and have him on the bench. It's Lozano was doing the job. She earned it. Now it's time for KK to be able to try to take that back.
Christie's last at bat versus Bethune-Cookman on the 21st. First game against Arizona, we knew that this was, again, this wasn't the same Titans team that we saw previous in the year. Their second game versus Arizona, that was more like themselves. And in this game, again, it's not the same Titans team we've seen.
No, and oh, absolutely great job there, KK Christie. The single. It's going to take us back to the top of the lineup. And Brianna Ferdman, unless there is another pinch hitter.
Really good sign to see from KK Christie, who I know was just eager to get that starting spot back and trying to get her name back in the lineup. Don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but she's being a great team player.
And I think we have another pinch hitter coming up here.
Leanna Garcia, who started this game just with an inning plus and really was not great.
It's not usual when they get together and they talk in the circle that the catcher's the tallest person in the circle.
She is huge. Look at her, by
That's
gosh.
Sydney Stewart. Oh my God, she's 6'1" junior out of San Jose. Went to St. Francis High School by way of Washington, getting to the Arizona Wildcats. But wow, when I kept looking at that, I go, something's off. I'm not used to seeing a catcher that's taller than everybody in the circle.
Yeah, when do you see a 6'1" catcher?
That's not,
My gosh.
not often.
See what kind of moves the Titans or the Wildcats make here. Meeting in the circle here will be the top of the lineup for the Titans, but not the same Titans team that we've seen. This will be Abigail Salazar now.
It's been a while since we've seen Salazar. It's good to see her get an at-bat tonight.
Keep this game alive. Abigail Salazar just 1 for 4 on the season. Last at-bat came on the 16th versus Ohio. As an RBI on the year, though. Abby Salazar now 0-2.
Titans are down to their final strike.
Would be the first complete game of the year for Miranda Stoddard. Would push her to 4-0 on the season.
And Stoddard's just been consistent. I can't remember a time when she made consistent pitches out of the zone. It's just been right there the whole time. Oh, a little squibber.
And this should do it. Salazar thrown out at first. It's the first complete game of the year for Miranda Stoddard, as she will move to 4-0 in the circle this year. Leanna Garcia falls to 7-4, and the Titans drop both games today, Jim.
Yeah, dropping both games. Played better in the UCLA game late, but definitely tonight just a little overmatched.